So this is me leaving Tuzla for Bucata. It takes about an hour and a half to get there at 7-8 knots. I mean, you could go there in half the time, but you would burn a lot of fuel, and you just don't need that. The cruising speed, I'm finding out that is going to be around between 8 and 9 knots, which is perfect. So this is the eastern side of Bucata. I mean, check out the depths. Check out how they drop down. I mean, this is very typical. You have all these little pebbly beaches, beautiful beaches. You have crevices, and you have small caves that you can, swim into. It's just beautiful. So this is the beginning of the dive. I mean, right away I start seeing, very nice ballan wrasses. And the original idea was to stock up on them, so I started shooting them. As you can see, the visibility is perfectly acceptable. Around 4 meters at this spot, maybe 5. There were lots of little fish all over the place, and with some surprises that I will talk about when time comes. And this is one of my favorite sights to see underwater. Sea lettuce undulating under the rays of the sun. Just reminds me of my childhood. So I started seeing small to medium-sized sharpies. I usually don't spear them in summer. I wait for the fall when they're larger and oily. But, I'm gonna get a couple for dinner, because they taste delicious when fried. Now check out the banded seabream at the bottom. I'm gonna try to shoot it, but I missed. Banded seabreams, they don't get large. I mean, they're kind of small in size, so I usually keep from shooting them. But those guys were very big for their species. So I tried to get one, but I couldn't. I'm gonna bump into another one behind the rock, which was even bigger. As big probably as a medium-sized sharpie, but I'm gonna miss it also. Yes, so this is the second banded seabream, and another miss. The sharp snout sargos are actually pretty abundant for this time of the year. I was kind of looking for the larger ones. But they were pretty much all about the same size. The size that I call, pan frying size, pan sized sharpies. But I kind of enjoy, having them around, And another wrasse. See, the original idea again was to stock up on, wrasses. I used to, get them a lot when I was diving with Atakan. And now that he's not, he's gone, and I don't dive Marmara much anymore. There are wrasses there, but you know, the ones at the islands are just larger and slightly better tasting. Okay, so now I'm getting close to the meager spot. I believe there's a meager hole around 8 meters or so, but you know, they may or may not be around out in the open. This time they were out, but the visibility was a little worse. It was around maybe 3.5 meters or 4 meters at best. So I noticed their shapes, and I waited for them to come check me out, you know, hiding in the sea lettuce. And they did. But as you can see, I don't have much of an option there. Yeah, I mean, there are not many, and I don't have a lot of time. I mean, they're gonna see me and they're gonna get away. So I had to shoot, so I got one of the medium-sized ones. It was still a very good meager, and it was unfortunately filled with eggs. This is their mating time. Luckily, the ones that I'm going to shoot the next day, they're going to be males filled with sperm. But anyway, I saw 2 more meagers in the open on later dives, but they were already skittish because I had made a lot of noise, and they didn't offer me a shot. And this is a stingray. Usually has lots of current, and today it was okay, but there was a heavy thermocline around 8 meters. Above 8 meters it was 21 degrees Celsius, 22 degrees Celsius, but below the thermocline it was like almost 19 degrees Celsius. You could actually see the crystallized water due to the temperature difference in one of the previous clips. Now, this was a dangerous moment. I mean, the sea lettuce is very heavy, so I make my dive, and right here, check it out on the right side of the screen. Bang, the scorpion fish. It was right under my hand, so I basically landed on it, and I touched it, and it ran away. I never saw it, you know, in the sea lettuce. The thing is that they're very poisonous, so I'm very lucky that the spine didn't go through my gloves. I kind of waited for a little bit to see if I'm going to feel anything, but I didn't, so that was a lucky moment. And of course I had to shoot it because it's delicious. And of course I couldn't string it because I was carrying the string around my body, and so I had to, you know, carry the fish like this until the end of the dive. But it really didn't affect anything because I was already done. And so this is the end of the dive. A beautiful dive, lots of fish, beautiful weather. What else one can ask for? And it was pretty crowded, especially the calm locations to anchor. So I opted for a place that's slightly more windy than the other spots. But I really enjoyed my time there because it was silent and there was no one. I even, you know, went ashore to pick up some, you know, rock sapphire to eat for salad at night. I'm telling you, the natural beauty of Istanbul, of the Marmara region, far exceeds the one in the Aegean. But the problem being that most of it has been destroyed by man over the past 50, 60 years. And I did some jigging for horse mackerel. Both evenings actually, and it provided lots of fish for dinner. It was great. I love frying horse mackerel. They're delicious. I don't even take out the bones. I just eat them like that. And this is the Pine Bay, a very protected location. The first night, there was about 50 plus vessels. I counted 52, but there were more. The second night, there were even more than that, probably around 65, maybe 67. But it was quiet. There was no one disturbing the peace. So I really enjoyed my time. So this is Saturday morning. The weather is perfect, and this is Pine Bay in Heybeli Island. The visibility was very nice. The boat traffic was light, and the conditions were perfect. But the dive started with 2 misses. This is the first one. I actually shot this mullet, but it ripped. And then I tried to shoot another one, but I missed that one. But there were quite a bit of mullets, nice mullets too, in the beginning of the dive, early in the dive. I saw 2 schools of striped breams. This one was the first one, and the fish were nice in size, so I had to get one. As you'll see later on, like for instance this came directly towards me and I missed it, and this was a big wrasse. Bummer. This is a stingray. I saw quite a bit of stingrays. Some of them had their tails cut by fishermen, some of them had their tails intact. This is another species that you have to be careful with. Luckily they don't hide under the sea lettuce. Usually, they lay in the open. Another stingray. Okay, so here I'm very close to the entrance of the beach at the tip, and I saw two very nice, either sharpies or sargos, axe heads, I'm not sure, but they didn't offer me a chance. So now I'm looking for larger sargos or larger sharpies or whatever, and suddenly this, very nice striped bream appeared, and I have to get it. And of course, I mean, even if there were large sargos or sharpies there after that, they'd be gone. And then on the next dive, I bumped into these meagers. This is the first time I saw them. I was able to get one. And I decided to stick around the same location for a little more, with the hopes that maybe they're gonna come back to me again. Because because you see, I only saw like 3-4 meagers there. Usually their schools are much bigger than that, comprising of like maybe 15 to 20, 30 fish. So what happens sometimes is that a few meagers come to check you out, and the main group stays behind. And when you shoot one of these pioneers, then the main group doesn't, hide away, and they stick around, and they may come check you out again. So that was my hope, and I was right. Now check out the left side. Two meagers are there. I was very late to see them, but I continued to dive. So they are still around. They didn't hide away. So I continued diving. I'm still waiting for the main group. In the meantime, smaller meagers, large wrasses, and sharpies, they're swimming all over me. I mean, this was one of those oasis places where you see a lot of fish in a very small area. And now on this dive, check them out. They came from my left, and one of them, the one in the middle, was really nice, but I was late to shoot because I was filming. I kept seeing, these stingrays. This one, I mean, check it out. It had its tail intact. And then I started swimming towards the tip, towards the backside of the island. We used to see nice sargos there, but that was the idea. Maybe I'll be able to see a sargo and get a sargo there. That backside is deeper, and the rocks go straight down to like 10-12 meters. So I started, checking out the place, but I saw no sargos. It was filled with sharpies, and mullets, and wrasses, and so on. But I saw no meagers, and I saw no sargos. So it was getting late, and the boat traffic started to get heavier. I wanted to check out the meager location once again, but there were too many boats, and I didn't want to risk anything. I really don't enjoy diving when there are boats around. It was getting late. So I decided to go back, and on my way back, I wanted to check another meager hole that I knew of. And this guy welcomed me, but I left it alone. It was too cute and too close and too cute. But I continued diving close to the same location and hoping that maybe another one is going to show up. And it did on this dive. It was gently and quietly swimming from right to left. It was kind of far, but I was able to swim it. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. Right here somewhere. Yeah, right there. Yep, that was a lucky shot. So, 2 meagers. And a very happy diver. Time to end the dive with good news. I mean, this is a fan shell. They're almost extinct from the Mediterranean due to a stomach virus. The Sea of Marmara is pretty much the only place where they're still alive and they're not affected by the virus. And that guy was alive, as you could see. It closed itself when I touched it. I spent the rest of the day at Bucata. There were kestrels, there were hoopoes, all kinds of birds. It was beautiful. It was hot, and I did some jigging again. I found the ball, and I also found underwater mask. And I again decided to spend the night at the Pine Cove in Heybeli Island. Check out this traditional boat. This was beautiful. I mean, this is probably a Porsche or a Ferrari of the car world. And there were more than 60 boats there that night. Probably more, maybe 70. I mean, check this out. Sunday morning came quietly with hazy skies, and it was time for me to leave and to go back to Tuzla. I took a little stroll in the bay just to show you the number of boats that spent the night there. Now, some of them were beautiful though, the trawlers and everything. And this is the sail back, again along the back side of the big island, Bucata. I'm having so many different thoughts. You know, I'm happy at the same time, and I'm sad at the same time. And I remember the good old times, and they're supposed to, give me joy, but sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I remember the times we spent with Atakan at these locations, the stuff that we talked about, the amazement that we had against these beautiful natural wonders. And it's very, very hard. And it'll be very hard, so there is nothing I can do about it. It drives me crazy, but I'm going to keep on doing these things as much as I can, as long as my health allows. So cheers, bro.